Hey y'all, Irix Guy here from Irix Guy's Adventure Channel. It's youtube.com/Irix Guy. And I wanted to give a very thorough review of Jobs the movie. Now, for starters, I want to say it was an excellent movie. I felt that it was very well done, but I wanted to point out my opinions and want to give everyone a quick background. I do have a very strong background in IT. Actually, I began building computers back in the 286 days. I ran a dual node online service out of my house, a Wildcat DBS. Built various Linux web servers back when the internet was first becoming discovered, right after Prodigy, AOL CompuServe, etc. Hung out in the internet service provider, did all the nerdy stuff, collected old Sun Microsystems and Silicon Graphics workstations and servers. So I was a hardcore geek. So when I watched this movie, I could really appreciate the lifestyle that everyone was leading. They were hanging out in the garage and they were putting together these motherboards and the computers and trying to get them to market. So it was more or less, it was a bunch of kids hanging out having a good time, but it resulted in creating an empire that is today Apple Computer. But so back to the movie. What were my thoughts about the movie? Number one, great acting. It gave a very It painted the picture of the history of the Apple computer. I thought it did a good job of that. Where I thought that it was a little bit weird is that they really seemed to give Steve Jobs a very, they presented him in a very negative way, in my opinion. And I'm not saying that's not the case. I don't know Steve Jobs personally, but I felt that was a little bit one-sided. I mean, maybe he was like that, but that was something I pointed out. And obviously, the movie was about Apple's history. It didn't get into the new iPads and iPods and all the gadgets that we today associate with Apple Computer. But what I thought was cool is that they had Johnny Ive, and Johnny Ive was in the movie, and he was talking to Jobs, and that was a really cool piece because, as you know, when you watch the Apple commercials now on TV. You see the guy usually has on like the V-neck shirt. He's in the white background, and he's the lead designer. Maybe he is the lead designer for Apple now, but he's the one that and the movie depicted that. He's the one that Steve Jobs really liked, and I personally believe that Johnny Ive is very responsible for Apple's success today because he's the designer that goes out and makes the iPhone look cooler, makes the iPad look cooler, makes the user interface of Mac OS X look better. So it was really interesting coming from a geek's perspective. If you're a computer geek, especially if you grew up in the mid '70s, early '80s, you probably find a lot of value in watching this movie. For anyone to go in and watch it, some people that maybe don't have a background with computers, they may not see everything that people like myself see. Someone that grew up a geek in that era. Now, although I haven't had the success that, unfortunately, that Steve Jobs and Bill Gates have had, I have created this media empire. And where you're watching this video right now is the Irix Guy's Adventure Channel. I've got almost 4 million views. I've got almost 5,000 subscribers. So the footprint of my media empire is growing. I never thought that I would be involved with YouTube media, but hey, obviously I don't have my own computer company right now. I'm not building computers like Apple or Microsoft is, but I do have this media empire. So I can appreciate the drive that was depicted within Jobs the movie because it really showed, Steve Jobs wanted everything, and he got it. And that's the same mentality I have. So it was empowering to watch, being a fellow computer dork, and it's definitely worth seeing. Go see it in the theater, maybe rent it. That's up to you. But I would highly recommend Jobs the movie. I thought it was very well done. So in closing, if you haven't subscribed already, I strongly encourage you to do so. My channel is youtube.com/Irix Guy, and you can also join Irix Guy's Adventure Channel on Facebook. If you go to the main page of youtube.com/IRIX, after you subscribe there, there's a little Facebook icon on the right at the bottom right of the picture there of Charlotte Amalie with the sailboats. You can click that and subscribe to my Facebook channel too. Got a lot of cool content on both. Thanks for watching, and y'all have a good day.